This morning, four major political developments are raising one central question: are Nigerians leaders protecting the people or protecting themselves? Now to outrage over political, now to emotional streets, and finally ego clashes inside the Senate House. Good morning and welcome to our Active Citizens Morning Pulse. My name is Ifoma Oji, and joining me in the studio, I have with me Mr. Sacramento Daniels. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
We didn't see you yesterday. Why?
Yeah, I had to attend to some things. Nigerians issues always there for you every day, every minute, every second.
Okay, so you want to attend to Nigerian issues?
No. Let me attend to my own personal issues.
Okay.
Somebody will say, am I not a Nigerian?
All right. We'll have Mr. Oladimeji joining us soon, but before he joins us, let's start up with this morning conversation. Now, first on our list this morning, Nigerians' democracy is once again under the spotlight. The National Assembly of Nigeria has passed amendment to the Electoral Act of 2022, and critics say one change could weaken election transparency. Previously, electronic transmission of results from polling units was mandatory. Now, INEC has discretion. In simple terms, must has become may. Now, for many Nigerians, that is not just grammar, it is trust. Civil society voices, including Usman Bugaje, argue that if POS machines and WhatsApp work in rural villages, there's no excuse to transmit results electronically, and their fear manual collation opens the door to delays, manipulation, and allegations of rigging, because history has shown us one thing: when results travel by road instead of internet, they sometimes change along the way. Let's take a look at his perception on the new bill of Electoral Act amendment, or the new bill.
To prepare for rigging, it's very clear. You have POS in the remotest villages. You have telephones working, WhatsApp, people communicating, sending messages and communicating. In any case, it is for INEC to say that we do not have the capacity to deliver. It's not for the legislatures to do that. And like I said, INEC itself has recommended in its submission during the public hearing that this is the position. So what is the business of the Senate to start speculating about INEC's inability to do that when INEC is very clear on its own particular position? And experts in the last few days have come out to say that the amount of coverage is more than sufficient for INEC to deliver. And remember, even if you post in remote areas, by the time you move into area of coverage, the message will find its way to the portal. And therefore, it's not something that is impossible. Many countries in the world which are far less developed in terms of internet coverage have done exactly this. So really, these are no reasons at all. These are alibis, excuses given because they want to prepare for rigging. Otherwise, why should you block? In the 21st century, with all the advancement, in any case, we have sufficient time to to build the capacity of INEC. This can be done in 1 month. It's not like some kind of, you're not building a mansion, you are just putting gadgets together and linking up satellites. So even if you want to do more, there are a lot of other facilities available in the world that will allow you to make this. So I think the whole idea of giving excuses is suspect. And clearly the intention is to find a way of attenuating the electoral system in a way that will give certain people the advantage to rig our elections like they have done. Even last year, you recall clearly the last elections, you recall exactly what happened. They switched off, and then all sorts of images were coming, and really up till now, nobody has adequately explained to us what exactly happened. If it was a glitch, why didn't it happen with other results? Why only the presidential results? And this is something in a serious country that must have been investigated. And if people were found wanting, they would have been prosecuted. But a lot of these criminals are working scot-free.
All right, that video we just watched right now is Usman Bugaje. I would call him an activist during an interview with Arise News, where he gave his own perspective concerning the new amendment bill, the new Election Act of 2022 that was amended 2 days ago. And before we go into full-blown conversation on this, I would want us to welcome Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi, who is joining us via Zoom. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Ifeoma. Thank you for having me in the studio this morning. Good morning from the Sacramento.
Good morning.
All right. Now back to our conversation now. According to what Usman Bugaji just stated now, that if we could have WhatsApp in rural areas and equally have other networks that we use in rural areas, why is it that INEC, or rather the Senate House, is finding it difficult to pass the e-transmission of results? And we know that of recent, that should be 2 days ago, that the amendment bill after the plenary session was passed into bill, and there was a clause there, and the clause that was included there is that there is e-transmission of results, or they passed it into law, but that in situations that there is a network glitch, that the manual collation processes can be used in alternative. And I'll start with you, Mr. Sacramento, because I believe you were not here in the evening when finally they had that meeting. And I mean, the whole internet was awash. Nigerians were pained, they were angered. But let me have your take on the new amendment Electoral Act.
Okay. Nigeria, like I keep saying, that Nigeria is a home of you wake up every morning, you see things that will always make your mind, your emotions, very saddened, and you become angry. Like we rightfully said, and what Bugaje was saying, I wonder what's the business of the Senate when INEC said they are ready to do all these things, that they have the capacity to make things work. I know they have an ICT unit. Nigeria has an ICT unit. If even in the rural areas that, like he rightfully said, POS are working.
Yes.
People withdraw money. I know how many rural areas I travel to during December period, and I make some transactions there. So you find out that we have a bunch of insincere human beings that are in the House of Senate, led by Senator Babio. This is a very, very shameful thing. They keep telling that INEC is independent and all those stuff. You find out now, Nigerians, even a little child that is growing up, could now see that there is nothing independent about INEC. You find out that the kind of Senate people in the red chambers that we have are a terrible set of people.
Okay.
No, though not all of them, because if weren't for the likes of Abaribe, if it wasn't for the likes of some of the good people that are there, both Senator Ndume, then these issues we wouldn't have heard about it.
Exactly.
But the truth about it is that all these are ploy for rigging 2027 election. But let them understand that what happened in 2023 might not repeat itself this 2027. And they have to be extremely careful. Let them not just think that every power belongs to them. Power belongs to the people, not to some selected set of charlatans who are every now and then, disrupting goodwill that does not want this country to move forward because of their own selfish interests. I wonder why Akpabio will be sitting there. Akpabio has been a governor for 8 years. Akpabio, you have been there as a minister. Akpabio, you are now there as a senator.
Senate president,
and you are not even thinking about the goodwill of the people. All you are concerned is about party. Do you know that you will end and you will come out one day?
Exactly.
And you will face the same people whom you are using their life, their destiny to toy. You will meet them on the way. You're going to come back as a normal human being because you can't stay in the ring forever. There's going to be a time when you're going to leave the ring. What would you be remembered for? Exactly. You remember that you are trying to truncate the will of the people. If your political party are doing well, so what is all this panic all about?
Exactly.
Why are you guys panicking? Why would you people not allow this country to flow in the way, in the manner that our forefathers, the people who fought for democracy, because so many of them that are there today, claiming organs are there, they weren't there when people were fighting for democracy. They were not there. We can count very few of them who were there, who gave their sweat, who gave everything for this democracy to come. So the truth about it is that all these things you are saying, even a little child in the secondary school already knows that these are all ploy to rig the election. That there is no other better way to say it than to say that they are putting up machineries to make sure that they rig election. Remember when the last Jega left, Jega, who conducted one of the worst elections, and they are praising him. Jega was in public and told people that they are going to transmit everything.
Is it Mahmoud Yakubu?
Sorry, Mahmoud Yakubu. Yes. Mahmoud Yakubu, not Jega. All of them are all the same thing.
Yeah.
So whether you call Mahmoud or you call Jega, they are all brothers and they know what we're saying. Mahmoud said they're going to transmit properly, that they're going to transmit everything. All of a sudden, there became a change. So you see that these people are bringing up, we already know the tactics they are coming up with just for them to do the bidding of whosoever they want to do. Because that's how I'm going to put it. But let them know that every issues, every problem, even drugs has an expiring date.
Exactly.
They should always realize that. Yeah. The will of the people cannot be truncated. Exactly. The will of the people, you cannot trample on it. When we say no, we are the next one that will come is that the Senate House, maybe we will shut it down. And they will know that we sent them there.
Yeah.
It is not, no matter the police and the army, we will shut that place down until they begin to realize that we are the people. We gave them this power. They didn't just take it.
Exactly. Well said, Mr. Sacramento. I mean, whatever we do in life, we should try as much as possible. It is salient that we leave a legacy that we will be remembered for. And I mean, I can't, agree more. But coming to you now, Mr. Oladimeji, now, I know you didn't lend your voice to the cause of this conversation when this bill was amended, and there was now a but or a may, or rather a clause to it. So I would love you to, give me your perspective. And do you think that INEC should have a discretion, or do you think that transparency and transparency 2 should be compulsory by the law?
Well, thank you very much, Ifeoma, and good morning to Nigerians again. Well said, Comrade Sacramento, and you just said it as it should be said. But look, let us not be disillusioned, all right, by the current events playing itself out at the National Assembly right now. All right. Let me start first with Akpabio, then I'll roll into the question you asked if there is a way around, what this implies for Nigeria. If I get your question right, if you're rightly repeat it for me.
Okay, I said if you think that INEC should have discretion, or if you think that transparency tools should and must be compulsory by the law.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Speaking of transparency, speaking of fair process, it is completely repugnant to the current occupants of our of our corridors of power. I put that straight to Nigerians and to you in the studio. These are alien language, alien words rather, to the current occupants. If not, all right, those in power currently wouldn't need all of these desperate attempts, all right, to winning elections. What equivalent to rather need is for their work, for the work of the administration to speak to the people and convince the people. That's all that would have been expected. That ought to be expected from an administration. But what we are seeing from this current open apex office that I love to describe as realness in power, what we are seeing from them, this event, this attempt, manipulation, and calculated attempts at, living in lacuna, it is just desperate attempt, and the consequence of this confirmation that, we are obviously acknowledging that it is we versus the people. So, living a process that allows a free and fair, conduct would definitely give the people the edge over us. So why not? Akpabio is fit for this purpose. Remember, the current Senate President, I would often emphasize it and say it loudly whenever I get the opportunity. Akpabio is currently an illegal senator. First of all, the flaw of the House, because he never contested to be a senator. He contested in the primaries of the APC presidential election, and we all know what the law says about that. The moment you contest at that, you have no whatsoever to contest in another election during that electionary year. But here we have it contested at the primaries of the APC in 2023 and went on, to fight with the person who lawfully won that election on the floor of the APC. In the state, in Akwa Ibom state for APC. Well, I'm telling you why it's fit for this current moribund assembly. One of the worst has been described by many people, including heads in this country. Normally described if who is a man from his very state, so described him as fit for purpose, because this assembly is just there to rubber stamp whatever this current executive is doing. So my sister, Nigerian, this is a conversation that we should be having. The conversation that we should be having should be hinged on the provision of the capacity and capability of INEC. So well inundated by Yakub 2023 elections that they are well enough sophisticated to carry out this process. So why would you want to deliberately medicate on behalf of the sick? When the sick says, I am whole.
Exactly. It's more like crying more than the bereaved. It's just what Mr. Sacramento just said.
And it lays the foundation for suspicion that why is it that you are so desperate to manage the process and leave that lacuna?
Well said. I mean, when they already have 31 governors, why are they still afraid of the will of the people? But before we continue on this conversation, let's have a video. Should I say an angered citizens, Mama P, coming out to express her dissatisfaction with the new amendment bill of the Electoral Act of 2022. Let's take a look. And when we come back, we have more conversation on the issue.
Everybody wey agree to the bill wey they pass, where they put bots inside the bill. Yes, they go do transmission of results, but now Google kill all of you now. All of you are mad. You are madder than what madness is. You think you can deceive us with English now because we don't get sense. We are mad now. We know our brain not the function. We be like many of our children, we get come for brain, we be doyo. We cannot think. You are passing a bill. However, in case network, no, they not be the same glitch. No be the same glitch when we ask Mahmoud Yakubu, say, what caused the glitch 2 years, I'll be 1 year past. Are you people mad? You people are mad. I'm only saying that Nigerians, this fight is beyond your feelings. This fight is beyond your political party. This fight is for your children unborn. You need to come outside. Now they said, oh, Mama P, let's go. As I want to sleep here. I want to sleep here. There's enough security here. The roads are good here. There's healthcare here. Everything is here. Where is it your stay? It's okay. But we are going to reconvene on the 24th. The struggle continues online. Please keep sharing videos, everything that pertains to our votes counting. Please keep doing your videos. Diaspora, help us. Do videos, post. Tag me, I'm going to repost. Let's keep the pressure till on the 24th that they say they're coming back. And when they're coming back, they will meet all of us here at the gates of the National Assembly. It's Operation Occupy NAS till they do what's needful. And that's passing the bill that results must be transmitted in real time electronically. It's Operation Our Votes Must Count or Nothing. Thank you very much for being by me. I love you all. Bye.
The will of the people must prevail. You could see clearly that Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angered by the clause that the Senate House and National House put to the Electoral Act of 2022, and they are saying that they will be reconvening on the 24th of this month, and they will be occupying NAS. That is, either they obey the will of the people, or rather they obey the will of the people. And I'm going to come to you now, Mr. Sacramento. Do you think that with all this that is going on, with the Senate House kind of supported INEC and crying more than the bereaved, that do you think that Nigerians can ever trust INEC? And do you think that digitally we are going forward or we are going backward?
Well, it just number one, there has never been any time that we have trust in INEC. You should know that there has not been. INEC has not lived up to expectations of the people, and it is because that the hands that is holding their neck is very, very strong. But I know that one day God is going to bring salvation to the country. One day somebody will decide to write his name in gold and decide to say the right thing and do the right thing, no matter whose ox is God. You know, it's not as if we don't have the right set of people in Nigeria. I still remember the police commissioner who was retired, although he retired in Kaduna, who was forced to do the wrong thing, and he stood and said, no, it's not going to happen. And he stood his ground. I remember the INEC woman, Nenda Oti, who stood her grounds to say no, that we will not do, this rigging will not happen, that the will of the people must come. You see, until we get to see patriotic Nigerians, we don't have them anymore. We have them in trick, in just some badges. It's not as if we don't have good people. There are still a lot of people who are there, who wants to do the right thing. But because we don't have a working system, because the system, the whole system is in shambles, it becomes a problem. Who says we don't have good ICT? And they are flying drones here and there. You see, the Senate just opened they just opened up themselves, and they have already opened up to tell Nigerians what to expect in 2027. That you guys should get up for rigging. That is the truth. So it is boils down to political parties who are aspiring to contest in the election should wake up. Is a wake-up call for them all, because they've already seen where 2027 is headed to. That is the thing. You understand? We've already seen where we are headed to. So the truth about it is that we must do everything humanly possible to make sure that the votes of every Nigerian citizen counts during the election. and that is how it should be. Then, I've just told you there is no independence in anything called INEC, the EFCC, the ICPC. There's no independence. Somebody is controlling the affairs. And when all chips are down, the guy at the top will always speak. And that is why the nation has been. Then coming to the digital aspect is people, like I said, somebody is controlling it. Somebody wants to make sure that Nigerian is being ridiculed at every point in time. Yes, I won't blame him because we do not have a proper working system. Our constitution only favors the rich, the executive, the rich. But when it comes to the one that concerns the poor, you won't hear the judiciary coming out now to say no. This kind of thing will not. Nobody will go to court concerning this. So that and when if we go to court, you will see how the judiciary will treat it, because they know he who plays the piper dictates the tune. So that is it.
He who plays the piper dictates the tune. Now, before the amendment bill of Electoral Act of 2022, Senator Mungono stated then that they are promising Nigerians that they are going to consider their grievances while they were on the plenary section for 2 days ago. And it's as if that did not happen. Rather, a lot of people say that their own will prevailed. It's more like one-sided, half-baked bread, that they consider the will of the people and they injected their own will to. But coming to you now, Mr. Oladimeji, do you think that this matter now can be litigated in court? And do you think the argument of Nigerians, if they are to litigate it to court, that it will hold water? Because I'm seeing now that section 62 of that same Electoral Act is saying otherwise. So a lot of people now are saying that they are going to use that section 62, which they have created as a lacuna. They will use it as an excuse to ensure that the argument of Nigerians does not stand, which is e-transmission of results. Mr. Sacramento, Mr. Oladimeji.
All right, Ifeoma, thank you for that question. First, while you were asking that question, I was chuckling within me. And why I chuckled was because I wonder why Nigerians are going to court. Why do we want to go to court? First, let me establish. You go to court to interpret the law. This is still a bill. This is still a bill. It is yet to be passed because the president is yet to assign it by his signature, with his signature. His signature on it is the assentment, and as that and it is passed into law and returned back to the House to be legislated, and it is adopted as law. Here, in fact, we are still left, because to me, the committee, immunization committee set up to verify and finalize all of these review of the 2022 Electoral Act is still null and void for me, because that committee cannot sit until the law has been made. Senators, we still, let me scrap that. The National Assembly is currently saddled with two responsibilities. Overshadow responsibility, that is as watchdog to all other arms of government, and secondly, making of laws to be requested by their constituencies. These laws that they make at the level of the National Assembly expect to interface with the deliberations and reports they bring to their constituencies. But here we have politicians redefining democracy to be the government of the few, by the few, for the people.
Wow.
That is what is playing out. Mr. Sacramento said Now, the Nigerian people has pushed them so much into these desperate moves that they will show their fans in broad daylight, like you can now walk during the day. By telling Nigerians, we know your request, you want a committed statement that is not ambiguous. Even at the court, nobody is going to the court anyway. That is not ambiguous to interpretation, to a layman for interpretation. That is straightforward. That does not leave lacunas for the lawyers such as Ebetoko and Co. to exploit technicalities. And then giving room for the judges to say, based on technicality, not the spirit of the law. They can now, stand down. That is what Nigerians are avoiding, but you are giving them the middle finger and telling them, this is what we are giving you. Meanwhile, you are just 360 people, for God's sake. What is the problem? Nigerians shouldn't be even talking about court. It is like Nigerians must insist that they get bill accordingly as it reflects the reality of the people.
Exactly.
There will not be anybody going to the polls. The Nigerian people must take advantage of this exposure that you have done and given to the politician currently in power.
Exactly. So it is Operation Occupy the National Assembly or nothing. We have the vote and we have the numbers.
If you indulge me, I can do you one more solid. Okay. Nigerians should occupy their respective state assemblies. After all, the state assemblies are extensions of the National Assembly.
Yeah. All right. Well said, Mr. Sacramento. At the end of the day, the will of Nigerians must prevail, whether the Senate likes it or not. But now to government spending, and this one has Nigerians shaking their heads during budget discussions. Kaka Shehu Lawan argued that 127 million naira is too small for the presidential villa vehicle, and I would love us to take a look at that video, and when we come back we have a full-on conversation on that.
Now, we also want to thank you for appearing before the committee timeously. If the State House would appear before this committee as at when due, we see no reason why other ministries, departments or agencies will not come. So you have led by example and keep it up. The renewed hope agenda of Mr. President is alive. We are happy that even the villa is being treated equally with other ministries. That is leadership by example. Convey our deep appreciation to Mr. President. We are going to do justice to the budget before us. But I will join my colleague Aminu in also rejecting 127 million naira for SUV car and the villa. It cannot buy even a bulletproof Tokumbo. So let us note all these things so that we project the image of Nigeria positively in the Committee of Nations. That is totally unacceptable. So we'll take note of that and do the needful. We don't want a situation where a visiting president will use Tokumbo in the airport. No, that is unacceptable. So the budget office must sit up. When you now send your proposal, they have to do justice to your request, not by reducing it to a paltry amount that would end up buying a Tokumbo. No, it is totally unacceptable. Give us your actual proposal that you sent before it was slashed, and then we'll meet with the Appropriations Committee to do justice to your request. On this note, in the absence of any other thing, I wish to most sincerely thank you and your team for attending or for coming to this budget defense. We wish you well, you are hereby
27 million naira is not enough to acquire even a Tokumbo. Now, his reasoning, security and national image. But here is the problem. The struggling Nigerians are battling rising food prices, expensive fuel, and falling incomes. Hearing that 127 million naira is not enough for government cars sounds disconnected. Yes, leaders need protection, but citizens are asking, protection for who first? The people or the politicians? Because optics matter. In tough time, luxury sends the wrong message. Now, Mr. Sacramento, this video was quite shocking to me because while Nigerians are clamoring, while Nigerians are agitating, they are busy here talking about the presidential villa, the cars that are supposed to be acquired for the presidential villa. And I would like to have your take on that. Do you think it is embarrassing, or do you think it's quite appropriate for them to be discussing that at that point when Nigerians are boiling?
If I'm the truth about it is that there is nothing new again to us, and it's not an embarrassing situation anymore because everything has become a profession, has become an attitude, has become a pattern. So it's no longer new. It is in this country that somebody bought a Christmas card for 1 billion. It is in this country that a man was being probed and he slumped in the House of Senate, and they say he will never come back to Senate again. And it happened. It is here somebody stole police pension fund and he only stayed 2 years and he came out and started making mouth. So how many should we count? So what is 127 million? He said he could hear a sitting senator saying it is a taboo,
That they should
that is an aberration, that they shouldn't have tampered with it. So you see the mindset, the kind of people who said they are representing us. He wasn't even happy that they were trying to streamline the people who did the budget. Were trying to streamline to make sure it's not as if he's buying a new fleet. If the presidency wants to buy, they don't need him to do whatever they want to. Did they when they bought new aircraft, did they go through due process? So all these things are just the way they want to siphon money. I mean, so it's, to me, it's not new. These are things. Is it because we are seeing this one? The ones that they have not brought out, Uncle? Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of issues we have just because there is no working system. Because if there are systems that are working perfectly, there are money you can have access to. There are things he has to pass through those working systems before he gets to you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that is the thing. So he could see him saying that 107 million cannot even buy a Tokumbo car. You can imagine.
That they should adjust it.
They should adjust it.
There was an initial budget that they had to slash down.
Yes.
So that they should bring up that.
That he's going to follow it up.
Exactly. He'll follow it up.
Now, the case is very clear.
I think you
could see the kind of people that are running our affairs.
Now, you raised some concerns here, which is, I mean, there are a lot of people that have looted money in the system. And I just remember the case of Yahaya Bello, which is still in court, and he was allowed to travel outside the country for Hajj celebration. And coming to you, Mr. Oladimeji, now, I would love your take on this. Do you think 127 million naira at this time when Nigerians are facing insecurity, if it is best channel to insecurity, that it could do more good than kind of acquiring a presidential villa SUV?
Oh God! Well, I'm loving this current narrative. You know why?
No.
I'm loving it. You know why? Because the Nigerian people are now seeing the political class for what they are. I mean, the old wagons for what they are. And what we're experiencing, some may be shocked as to why these people are publicly displaying like this. Look, they are not, to them, they are not publicly doing it because they are completely disconnected from you. They do not expect you to figure one and two together and sit as embarrassing.
Exactly.
For them, it is a regular practice to think for themselves. Look, Tinubu came into power in which subsidy away, then came to Nigerians and said, look, we're going to deploy austerity measures. Then went forward to buy a luxurious Airbus, costing Nigeria over $150 billion. Went on to purchase a yacht, over $55 billion. Went on, purchased a big Escalade, his private, his personal ride. Relegating all the fleet that the previous one just used. Went further to rebuild, to build a 22 mansion of the vice president that is currently not being used. Went on to buy SUVs for the office of the first lady that is not statutorily recognized by the court. All right? But Nigerians are the ones that the tax net must be widened over, and the rate at which they pay the tax must be increased so that revenue can come in for these SUVs to be purchased when the prices are high, such as it is being discussed at the floor of the committee. Discussing 127 is not enough. Let us look at the equivalent works that 127 can cost in a health center, in a primary health center, in a very small community. They don't have these thoughts because they are completely disconnected from the realities of the people. They don't ride on your roads, they fly choppers. They don't spend the day in your country, they have to do in the Caribbeans. And they don't deal with your women. They carry foreigners.
Foreigners, South Africans.
Exactly. So they are in your claim, they don't understand what you are going through. For years, they come to manipulate the system to retain themselves. This is why the Nigerian people must say, okay, you are disconnected from us. We are connecting ourselves back to our governance,
Exactly.
and we are assisting you people. That is the point I think the Nigerian people have come to.
Yes.
But for them to really catch the right of these details, that is why we have to continue to bring these kinds of discussion. Because for me, these are shenanigans that touch the stomach and wants you to commit.
I think I love the fact. Yeah. I think I'm enjoying the fact that Nigerians are connecting themselves to, the government. It's more like we are forced to do that because we are tired of the constant inflation. We are tired of the constant suffering. But because of time, I wouldn't really be giving my take that much. Let's just take our last story for the day and still talking about people that says that some videos that was uploaded online is AI. There's more drama in the corridors of power. Now, at a heated committee session, David Omahi back at Adams Oshomole. He backs at Adams Oshomole, saying, "You cannot speak to me in that manner. I am a distinguished Nigerian and senator, but many watching weren't impressed because in a democracy, titles don't command respect. Performance does." Now, senators are meant to question ministers, and ministers are meant to answer, not trade status. For citizens watching at home, it looked less like governance and more like ego politics. Let's take a look at that video, and when we return, we have a conversation before we wrap up the show.
So are you judging or you are asking me questions?
You are not entitled to interrupt me.
No, you can't use foul language on me. I'm a distinguished Nigerian. You can't use foul language on me, please. Distraction.
Honorable Minister, please, no, excuse me, mind your language, please. You were in this Senate, excuse me, sir.
For how long? 2 months.
You were in this Senate, you mind your language. You are addressing a senator.
2 months senator.
Mind your language.
So, that said,
Yes, 2 months senator.
Chairman, thank you for the disruption, and I thank you for your patience and your leadership, please.
Go ahead.
The termination of NNPC funding and private sector funding, I salute Mr. President for this decision. Because this so-called tax credit is very difficult to maintain, to monitor the transparency. So for me, I celebrate it. You spoke to the issue of the Federal Minister of Finance, who Mr. President has also assigned as the coordinating minister of the economy. And you said he is not releasing money and that is affecting your project. But you also assure us that Mr. President is not aware of this. This is your written address.
Is the Federal Ministry of Works holding their budget defense for 2026, and they were interrogated by distinguished Senate. It's not distinguished by Senator Adams, Oshomole, and other senators in the House, and that was where they had that dispute back and forth in the public, and I think that was quite embarrassing to behold. But maybe it's not just for me to say how bad it was on the public space and on the international, what's it called, view. I would love to have your take on that, Mr. Sacramento.
Okay. The rancor that they had, Oshomole and distinguished Senator Oshomole and distinguished Nigerian, the Minister of Works. Yes. Normally, it's something that we see wherever two gladiators are, and it's not a new thing. There are times. It's just newly that those days our senators used to fight in the Senate chamber and throw seats and all these things, but now it's not an issue, but it's not something that we should be seeing in the public domain. Now, a senator must know that he's a senator, and a minister must as well know he's a minister, and everybody should, learn to know boundaries. You don't speak to somebody, arrogantly just because the person is under you, or in your office, you treat the person somehow, and the other person shouldn't, pick unnecessary offense when things are, you are under a probe. You must understand that when you're in a probe, everything must. People might use different types of tactics. So you just put yourself together to know how to, take questions and not always fighting. This is the second time. The other time, Umahi said, talking to him like a boy. Yes, he had an issue with Arise, Rufai. Yeah. Yes, and now he's having issue with Oshomole. So he has to tune down a little bit. In as much as I know him as a no-nonsense person, but he has to tune down when questions are being thrown at him. You are a public servant. In as much as you are a public servant serving a nation, you should brace yourself up, because different tantrum will be thrown at you. So you know how to, answer and dodge the ones you could dodge and answer the ones you will be able to answer. Okay,
now, Mr. Oladimeji, now, looking at who is throwing the tantrums, you remember what we had, the videos we watched few weeks ago, where we had Senator Adams Oshomole kind of massaging the feet of a certain South African.
No, that's his wife.
No, that's not his wife.
That's his wife.
That's not his wife. He came out to say that was an AI. It is not. It's not his wife. It's not his wife. She later
get to court.
Mr. Sacramento.
You can get to court.
Mr. Sacramento. The lady later deleted from her social media account.
Remember that he's a Muslim.
Wait.
Remember he has the power to marry as he wants.
Wait, let me drive home my point.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. I'm on the same page with you.
Okay, let me just drive home my point. Now, looking at the person that is interrogating you, Mr. Oladimeji, let's just look at it like it's just you now and Mr. Adams Oshomole, and you're being interrogated. Who are you going to be seeing? Are you going to be seeing a distinguished senator interviewing you or interrogating you, or will you be seeing someone massaging the foot or the feet of someone that is not his wife? And your take on the story, the video we just watched.
You just gave me a through pass there, because I was going to speak about the characters that are in the mouth of this tantrum. We have one character that I don't know where Conway got that phrase to describe him from as a no-nonsense person. A no-nonsense person must be principled around.
I'm talking about Dave Umahi.
No, he was talking about Dave Umahi.
I'm talking about Dave Umahi.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Dave Umahi. I got your context right.
Okay.
I'm still talking about the same man.
Oh, okay.
If you're talking about the man who meets people down and plug them as a no-nonsense person, and then with money, he's not frugal, he's extravagant with public money. That's not a no-nonsense man for me. Anyways, now we're talking about David Umahi, who is, the same as the professional in practice, a distinguished Nigerian and a 2-month senator. And then sitting before oh my, Nigeria is the state of absurdity. Alright, sitting before Nanda, who just a few weeks ago was snared in scandal and real footage that he boarded a private jet with a South African lady who runs an adult thing business. Alright?
Yeah.
And then after you got he came to the faces of 230 million Nigerians. Some of them who are in the business of even creating AI themselves, everything that builds these applications to tell them that it is AI that they are seeing. So if you are David Umahi, you would want him to say, no. It shouldn't be you holding the microphone.
Exactly.
Let that person do the tantrum, and not you. Alright, so yeah. But seriously, we must demystify this non-performative reference we've customarily associated with titles like, you are my senior. So because you're my senior, I must indulge you even if you are severing someone's head. I shouldn't talk. I must respect you and let you sever that head because you're an adult or because you occupy some office. I must respect you because you occupy that office. And when you are embezzling, I should keep quiet. All right, and not say it as it is. All right, what this over time has done to the DNA and to the fabric of the Nigerian society in a social political space is to create a demagogue of persons who occupy this office, either political, religious, or societal.
All right, I think we've lost Mr. Oladimeji right there, and hopefully we're already rounding up on the show, but I get his point clearly. I mean, we are more like the eyes. We are people. That's a icon that people should look up to, and coming out to wash our dirty linens, or rather throw tantrums or have disputes on public spaces, is not really speaking well of us. And I believe that it's passing a wrong message to the people that we should be looking out to on the public space, or rather as an icon. Now, still on this topic now, Mr. Oladimeji, Mr. Sacramento, do you think that this is more like an attempt to, should I say, disengage Nigerians from the status quo, which is the problem that is going on with the Senate House, the amendment? Because a lot of people are saying that it's kind of distraction for Nigerians. May they use this one whole body. That's why some Nigerians are saying. Quickly, while we wrap up the show.
Like I said, we've been saying all these things before in the Senate. They will always come around themselves. They know how to distract us. So they're all in the same political parties. They know themselves. So they will always come over it and sort themselves out. Whatever they are doing, they should make sure that they are delivering the dividends of democracy to Nigerian citizens, because that's the most important thing that we need. No matter what's happening there, I don't like gambling into somebody's private affairs in his life. That's me. So whatever Oshomole is doing, they should do the right thing. They should know that they are serving the country. In as much as we know that so many of them have no good characters, they are not supposed to be in the House of Journalists. So many of them are meant to be wearing, they should be in the correctional center because they need to be corrected. Their senses needs to be corrected properly. So I don't want to gamble there, but the truth about it is that we want the final thing I'm leaving that whatsoever the House of Senate or whatsoever they call themselves they are doing is to make sure that the vote of every Nigerian counts, and that's where I'm leaving it at.
All right, they should ensure that the vote of every Nigerian counts and not just counting the vote. And if you are in a public, pass the right bills. And if you are in a position of power, you should find a way to comport yourself, because there are a lot of people that look up to you. Now, when you connect the dots this morning, a pattern emerges, which is weaker election safeguards, public anger, expensive political spending, and leaders arguing over respect. It raises a bigger question: are we focusing on the people's problems or political pride? Because at the end of the day, Nigerians don't want drama. They want credible elections, responsible spending, working roads, and accountable leaders. Anything less only widens the trust gap. And in democracy, trust is very vital. And I'm your host for this morning, Ifoma Oji, and that's your political roundup for this morning. Stay informed, stay engaged. Nigerian story is still unfolding, and we'll come your way again in the afternoon. Do have a lovely morning.